This is our biome project for AP Bio. We did the ocean pelagic biome. This PowerPoint and video is by
Lauren Schiebel,
Jordan Polderman,
Jensen Polderman, and Breland Whitehill.
The ocean pelagic biome is also known as the open ocean zone. This biome consists of the oceans beyond the coastal region. The waters in this biome are purely salt water. Ocean pelagic biome is located above the seabed, away from coastal boundaries. Since water covers 70% of the Earth's surface, and oceans being a large contributor, the biome can be found anywhere there are not masses of land.
The altitude and depth perception. The lowest point of the open ocean reaches about 11,021 meters deep. The open ocean is made up of five subzones, 4 of which are made up in the ocean pelagic biome. The first zone, epipelagic, covers up to 200 meters deep. The mesopelagic zone covers under the first zone from 200 to 1,000 meters, covering a total of 800 meters. The bathypelagic is 1,000 meters under the sea to 3,000, covering 2,000 meters. It is also known as the zone to go past the continental slope. The abyssopelagic is known as the zone where the continental slope levels off. More than 30% of the bottom of the ocean is said to be situated here. The depth is covered from 4,000 to 6,000 meters. The light availability. The most light is found in the epipelagic zone where photosynthesis occurs, allowing nutrients for the plants and animals. The mesopelagic is also known as the twilight zone. That is known as the zone containing animals with good vision. The bathypelagic is luminescent from the animals that live here, and the abyssopelagic is completely dark and colorless. Geological features. The ocean pelagic biome is the largest aquatic biome in volume. The Earth is known as a water planet, considering water covers 70% of the Earth's surface. The biomass in pelagic water is much lower than any other coastal waters per unit volume. Temperature. The epipelagic is 20 degrees Celsius. The mesopelagic falls slightly because it varies in many places. The bathypelagic is 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. The abyssopelagic is below 4 degrees Celsius.
Human impacts on the ocean include overfishing, trash, chemicals, oil spills, and noise pollution. In overfishing, fish, shellfish, and other important species are declining in many places. These changes are impairing the ocean's capacity to provide food, protect livelihoods, maintain clean water, and recover from environmental stresses like severe storms. Any trash disposed of at sea can float all over the world. Marine animals like seabirds, whales, and sea turtles are eating plastic pollution and dying from choking. Pesticides coming from runoff of agricultural land into the ocean damages marine organisms. These chemicals then ends up in the food chain and affects many other animals. Oil spills can kill large numbers of marine life. It can take anywhere from 6 months to 5 years for the ecosystem to recover. Noise pollution is a newer threat. Noise produced by boats interferes with many species. The noise makes it difficult for whales and other animals to communicate to each other, and loud noises have even been linked to the death of dolphins. 90% of all ocean life lives in the epipelagic zone. Since this zone has no bottom, there are no deposit feeders. Instead, there are many suspension feeders, which eat food that is floating in the water. In the epipelagic zone, you will find some of the most familiar ocean animals like sharks, whales, jellyfish, sea turtles, dolphins, and most of the common fish that humans consume. Some of these animals have a unique camouflage called countershading, where the animal is light on the bottom of their body and darker on the top. This allows animals to blend in with the light when the predator is below them, or blend in with the water when the predator is above the animal. General types of life forms found in the mesopelagic zone are daytime visiting herbivores and detrivores, feeding on dead organisms. Whales and large fish dive here to hunt. With the lack of sunlight, this is where you start seeing fluorescent fish, like the lanternfish, which has organs along its side that produce light. Animals in the bathypelagic zone rely on detritus for food or eating other animals in this zone. The animals here are usually small but often have huge mouths, sharp teeth, and expandable stomachs that let them eat on any food that comes along. Whales will hunt at these depths on occasion to prey on giant squids. Most of the bathypelagic animals don't have eyes due to the darkness of the water. They are usually red and black, and any bioluminescence is usually blue. In the abyssopelagic zone, there are only a few animals adapted to survive in this zone. Some animals in this zone include deep-sea squid, basket stars, sea pigs, sea spiders, and some fish. Many of the fish in this zone have jaws that look unhinged. The jaw allows them to drag their mouth along the seafloor to find food, such as mussels, shrimp, and microscopic organisms. Plants are only found in the epipelagic zone due to the sunlight. Algae is a type of aquatic organism that can photosynthesize sunlight. Algae, like kelp, are called seaweed. Another plant in the epipelagic zone is phytoplankton. Through photosynthesis, phytoplankton are responsible for almost half the oxygen released into the Earth's atmosphere and are a basis of the ocean's food web.
When the seasons change from fall to spring, the nutrients are renewed in photic zones of temperature and high latitude areas. There are high levels of oxygen, but other nutrient concentrations are low. The limiting nutrients located in the biome are recycled through aquatic plants. The nutrients found in small amounts include phosphorus, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, silicon, copper, magnesium, zinc, and iron.
There are 4 subzones in the ocean pelagic zone. The first subzone is called epipelagic. This subzone is also called the photic zone, which is the top layer of the zone. From the surface of the water to roughly where the photosynthesis can no longer occur is considered the epipelagic zone. The sunlight can penetrate this zone, making it better for other animals to live there and survive. The heat from the sunlight circulates the water up and down, making it easier for fish and other organisms to get through the water. A great percentage of oxygen in this atmosphere comes from this subzone because of the extra oxygen in the air. The next subzone is the mesopelagic. This zone is between 200 and 1,000 meters below the ocean surface. This zone comes right after the epipelagic zone. It is also called the twilight zone. It is noted for the large amount of carbon storage within this zone. It also receives a very faint amount of filtered light during the daytime, but not the nighttime. About 20% of the food in the epipelagic zone makes its way down to the mesopelagic. The third subzone is called the bathypelagic zone. It is also called the midnight zone because it is darker than the mesopelagic. The upper limit is between 100 to 700 meters below the surface with a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. The lower limit is between 2,000 and 4,000 meters below the surface, but the temperature must be 4 degrees Celsius. There is very little amount of sunlight that penetrates this zone, so it makes it harder for animals to live if they're not adapted to this zone. The final subzone is the abyssopelagic zone. This is the lowest of the 4 subzones. It is from 4 degrees Celsius at 2,000 to 3,000 meters in depth, down to 6,000 meters below the surface of the ocean. The quantity of animals in this zone dramatically decreases because of the adaptations that all of the animals must carry. It comprises of 3/4 of the world's ocean because it is such a high depth. This zone is mainly unexplored and unknown. This is our works cited page, and that is our Biome project.